Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and turn your attention to the video screen on the south end of the field for the national anthem sung by Vista Preparatory Choir, directed by Mr. John Richard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. We would like to welcome our platform of guests this evening, Chief of Staff of Aurora Public Schools, Mark Seglem, Board of Education Treasurer, Marcus Ivy, Learning Community Director, Sue Lynn Toussaint, Principal of Vista Peak Preparatory, Jason Macklin, Special Guest, Arash Jahanian, Valedictorian, Melanie Oxum, and Salutatorian, Amanda Richardson. Now please turn your attention back to the video screen and welcome Student Body President Caleb Blackman.
Welcome to the Vista Peak Preparatory 2020 graduation ceremony. I am Caleb Blackman, Student Body President. We would like to thank all of the parents, brothers, sisters, grandparents, teachers, coaches, mentors, and any others that helped our graduates get to this day. Without your support, we would not be here today. We would like to welcome our platform guests, Superintendent of Aurora Public Schools, Rico Munn, Board of Education Treasurer, Marcus Ivy, Principal of Vista Peak Preparatory, Jason Macklin, Valedictorian, Melanie Axum, and Salutatorian, Amanda Richardson. Today, we have the honor of hearing from several people, as well as our incredible choir performing Showing Us the Way. First up, Valedictorian Melanie Axum. Melanie will be attending Notre Dame and will be majoring in finance and global affairs. Then we have our salutatorian, Amanda Richardson. Amanda will attend CCA and receive an Associates of Arts in Psychology. She then plans on transferring to a four-year university to major in general psychology and minor in math education. We also have the honor of hearing from Arash Jahanian. Arash Jahanian is the Director of Policy and Civil Rights Litigation at the Mayor Law Office. He works on immigrants' rights policy through legislation at the state and local level. Arash has been a lawyer since 2008, mostly as a civil rights lawyer in Denver. Arash has represented immigrants, LGBTQ individuals, prisoners, victims of police racial profiling, and people experiencing homelessness. Arash graduated from the University of North Carolina, taught middle school in Chicago through Teach for America, and then attended Georgetown Law. Arash was recognized as the Colorado Bar Association's Outstanding Young Lawyer in 2015 and was part of 3 different teams winning the Colorado Trial Lawyers Association's Case of the Year Award. Arash has served as chair of the Denver LGBTQ Commission and president of the Colorado LGBT Bar Association. He is currently on the board of the Interfaith Alliance of Colorado, the nominating committee for the Denver Citizen Oversight Board, and legal panels for civil rights organizations. Arash has presented at Vista Peak Prep as part of Judge Daniels and now Judge Espinoza's Dream Team, which tries to get students thinking about careers in the law. And lastly, before we begin, the class of 2020 would like to dedicate tonight's ceremony in loving memory of Sabian Holiday and Miguel Enriquez. They will live on in our hearts forever. Once a bison, always a bison.
4 years. That's 207 weeks, 1,453 days, 34,872 hours, and 125,539,200 seconds. And now, here we are. Things have not been easy since the beginning of 2020, and personally, every adversity that I've faced throughout these past few months devastated me, because I never thought my life would take the turns that it did. But then, I found the beauty in all of these situations, because the pain and frustration brought new lessons waiting to educate me. So, here's what I've learned that I want you to remember when you're going through a difficult situation. Lesson number 1 was something taught to me by our graduation coach, Mr. Carter. He said, "It's not about where you start, it's about where you end." Rejection is one of the most difficult things to face, and whether it be a college rejection, a job rejection, feeling rejected by your peers, or being friend-zoned by your crush, happens to the best of us. Rejection is scary because we create this scenario in our heads about how something is going to play out, and when it doesn't turn out that way, we think we failed. But in reality, we're just being steered towards something better. A college more suited for us, a better job, a good group of friends, a better person who won't break your heart. Being rejected is just a push towards the place you were meant to be. Use it as a time for self-growth so that you can reach your happy ending. Lesson 2. You never really know your own strength until it's tested, but trust me, you are a lot stronger than you realize. I want you all to reflect on the difficulties that you were challenged with throughout high school and think about how you overcame every single one of those issues. You had the strength to conquer what life threw at you in the past, so remember that strength in the future, because life is just going to continue throwing obstacles your way in the form of difficult people, difficult situations, and difficult decisions. These obstacles might even make you question yourself, but do not let life hold power over you like that. Do not let difficult people who don't know how to treat you right make you question your self-worth, and do not let difficult situations hinder you from moving forward. You are stronger than any hardship you face. 3, you are never alone in your fight, and you should make sure you assist others in their fight too. I've seen this lesson reflected in our community at Vista Peak, especially when it came to an issue that showed us the harsh reality many of our own classmates face. After talking with a few friends about the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement and the recent murders of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Elijah McClain, they explained to me the fear that they had for the men in their lives simply because they were Black men in America. But it's not just Black men being targeted. Black women live with the same fear on top of being female in this country. Breonna Taylor and countless other Black women have already fallen victim to this brutality too. Living a life of fear and uncertainty because of the color of your skin is a burden that some of us here are fortunate enough to not experience, but that does not mean it is not our problem too. As the Vista Peak community, we've united together when it mattered to make sure our voices were heard. And now it's time to bring that strength out into the global community to rewrite this narrative. I hope you use your voice for good, because this is our problem too. We need to create a better tomorrow because Black lives matter now and forever. It's time to conquer this hardship together. We are powerful enough to be the change we wish to see in the world. And to the people who dedicate their lives to making sure that we are well equipped to change the world, our teachers and the Vista Peak staff members, thank you. Whether they taught you how to memorize the division rule for derivatives to the tune of Row Row Your Boat, or they simply taught you how to persevere through a class you didn't really like, all your teachers taught you something in one way or another. So be thankful. To my friends, the people who taught me that I'm never alone when I'm going through a difficult time, thank you for getting me through some of my hardest days and for being a good influence on me and pushing me to be a better version of myself. And for the homework answers. This was a team effort. To my siblings, Monica and Michael, thank you for always keeping me grounded, for being my role models, and for being my best friends, sometimes. To my parents, Lindley and Mari Tess, thank you for being the reason I do everything I do. Thank you for having the courage to immigrate to a country you knew nothing about so that your children could take advantage of every single opportunity available to succeed. Hindi ko magagawa ang lahat ng ito kung hindi dahil sa inyo. Mahal na mahal ko kayo. If it weren't for all of these people picking me up when I felt like I didn't have enough strength to continue on anymore, I don't know if I would still be here today, talking to all of you. To the class of 2020, thank you for allowing me to be part of a community driven by passion and diversity. I hope you say thank you to whoever made an impact on your life in high school, whether they helped you get through a single class or helped you get to college. 4 years, 207 weeks, 1,453 days, 34,872 hours, and 125,539,200 seconds. And now, here we are together for the very last time. When you're going through a difficult situation, do not be afraid of rejection. Never forget your own strength and know that you are not alone. Use these lessons and use your voice to better yourself and our world. And also wear a mask in public. Class of 2020, congratulations.
Welcome all to the long-awaited graduation ceremony of the class of 2020 from Vista Peak Preparatory. Today, I want to talk about the attitude of the class of 2020. Specifically, I want to touch on first, our attitude of perseverance, second, our attitude of gratitude, and lastly, our attitude of tenaciousness. First and foremost, we have an attitude of perseverance. This shows our incredible drive for passion, one that no one could stop even if they tried. Throughout our entire high school career, we've had changes left and right, so if you will, let's go back in time for a moment. Freshman year, we came into Vista Peak excited and ready for anything that life could throw at us. Along with entering high school, advisory was introduced, and that was a change for many already at Vista Peak, especially for our staff. Sophomore year, we had a huge change in our schedule. Late starts were gone, and let's be honest, that was hard for just about everybody. Instead, we were introduced to access. Not to mention the grading system had changed. A 4.0 scale was now changed to percentages, so getting good grades was way harder. In addition to this, we were getting an extension to the building. No one can forget that this was the year that construction would set off the fire alarm and we would be standing in the pouring rain or the blazing heat for who knows how long. Junior year was a whole whirlwind of change. Since the extension had finished at the beginning of our year, we were now training for a marathon we didn't know we signed up for. Getting across that building without sprinting or being late was indeed no joking matter, but it was a difficulty we took head on, especially because block days had disappeared, making every single day a full period day, and squished into Wednesdays we still had advisory and access. However, this was small compared to the change in our administration, as we welcomed Mr. Macklin and Mrs. Scales to our bison herd. During our junior year, there was still the stresses of making college plans, studying for an SAT, including tragedy that cut us to the core and caused us to reflect on our actions and our relationships with those around us. Walking into our senior year, we greatly appreciate the addition of at least 30 new staff members at Vista Peak that helped strengthen our Bison Nation. Not to mention, our block days came back. There's no denying that the 2019-2020 school year has been chaotic to say the least. But before we get to the climax, let's remember the good. Seniors, we've had an amazing year. Amid every single challenge we made through above, and the ones not listed, we made sure to have time for friends. We made it a priority to laugh, to smile, which turned some mountains into molehills because our friends turned into the family we could count on. The class of 2020 here at Vista Peak knows how to get the job done. We were the class that had a record-making football season and going undefeated into the playoffs. The girls and boys basketball team made it to their Sweet 16 rounds in both of their seasons. Our swimming team won city and league championships, and I have no doubt that our spring sports would have blown us away with the number of wins they would have brought home. Not to mention our performing arts, choir, theater, band, and orchestra continued to pack the auditorium and made us proud to say that those talented performers belong to this bison herd. We continued to carry our attitude of perseverance through each unexpected turn for the rest of the year. However, March 12th is a day I will never forget. In fact, this is the day that I believe we all gained an attitude of gratitude. March 12th, 2020 was the very last day we spent here at Vista Peak Preparatory. For me, I don't think I can ever be more grateful for all of our teachers than I am right now. I do not doubt that every single teacher at Vista Peak put forth unimaginable effort to ensure every single one of their students' success. On behalf of the class of 2020, thank you so much for every single staff member, for your support, for your dedication, and for always believing in us. How indebted I am to each of you. Of course, parents and guardians, your efforts cannot go unrecognized either. When our world seemed to crumble before our very eyes, the highlights of our senior year being snuffed out one experience at a time, you were there to keep pushing us forward, reminding us that we would be okay, that things were going to work out. Having us in the house all day, every day, was a new experience as well, but nonetheless, we got through it together, laughter, smiles, tears and all. Thank you for being there, for helping us become stronger than ever before, and examples to keep going, keep fighting for what is right, and to never settle for mediocrity. Seniors, allow these past few months to be in constant remembrance. From all we lost, may we ever be more grateful for the small things, for the things that we have, and more importantly, be sure to say thank you. Too often we walk this life without taking the time to say thank you to those who do the small things that make the biggest difference in our lives. Last but not least, seniors, we carry an attitude of tenaciousness. To be tenacious means to tend to keep a firm hold of something, not relinquishing a position, or to not be easily dispelled. I think we have a unique ability to stand up for what is right. Never before have wrongs demanded to be righted and the need for change shouted upon the rooftops. More importantly, I have seen our class learn new things, gain a new perspective, and then step forward with a greater sense of purpose. How much better we are when we combine our sense of purpose with the humility and patience to listen, to learn, and to teach others. Through such a process, walking hand in hand, the class of 2020 here at Vista Peak is not a force to be reckoned with. As we go our separate ways, may we continue to strive to overcome the difficult times, even if that means needing to ask for help. Never lose your attitude of perseverance. May we continue to be grateful for the times with those that we have around us. Never take a moment for granted. Always say thank you for the small things. Gratitude helps us see what is there as opposed to what isn't, and through such a practice, we will find that there is more joy in our lives. Never lose your attitude of gratitude. Walk with confidence and purpose and be humble enough to change your course if it be necessary. When the world comes to shake you down, remember and continue to stand for what you believe to be right, and in fact, you will find that you are shaking the world. Never lose your attitude of tenaciousness. Thank you to all that have helped get us to this day, each of you here and innumerable others that couldn't attend. You have blessed and changed us into the best that we can be. As a close, I believe Dr. Seuss said it best. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. Today, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Congratulations, Vista Peak's graduating class of 2020. Thank you.
Here we are, tying up the loose ends and saying last goodbyes to all our friends. Here we are, making all the right moves and moving on to new things, starting over again. Where we're going to, it's still hard to say, but I know we'll come back someday, holding on to all the things you've taught us and thanking you for showing us the way. There we were, seeing things the first time and sorting out the reason from the rhyme. There you were, always there to guide us, mapping out the mountains that we had to climb. You took us in your hands and shaped us like clay, and helped prepare us for this day. See us are making all the right moves and moving on to new things, starting over again. Where we're going to, it's still hard to say, but I know we'll come back someday. Holding on to all the things you've taught us and thanking you for showing us the way. Holding on to all the things you've taught us and thanking you for showing us the way.
How dare you? The words of 17-year-old climate activist Greta Thunberg ring through my head as I deliver this message to you today. I often find myself saying to friends, the next generation will save us. They give me hope. But then Greta fires back at me, you come to us young people for hope. How dare you? Well, Greta, I will dare. After all, we all have to dare. Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Well, we're all on an adventure right now, together, that's for sure. But you may still be asking, what? I couldn't even go to school for the last 3 months, and my graduation is months late. I have no idea what tomorrow looks like, never mind the next chapter of my life. And I'm your hope for saving the world? How about I just worry about my safety right now? That's fair. No one's asking you to change the world tomorrow. But let me tell you why your generation gives me hope. It's because of the progressive thought I see coming out of you, the levels of understanding, of acceptance, and of challenging the forces that have held us back for too long. It's also because of the challenges you all have already overcome. You are the class of 2020, the year that rocked the world. And even before this year, you already battled climate change, gun violence, and a chapter in our nation's history unlike anything we had seen before. Having to go through this in your youth, your formative years, has given you strength I don't have, maybe even superpowers. You are already the resilient generation. So why not have hope in what you all can accomplish? Harvey Milk said, I know you can't live on hope alone, but without hope, life is not worth living. Dr. King said, we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Is it possible that after going through all of this, having our world torn down, we are all going to come out of this better and stronger? Well, we may be seeing some of that already. With Elijah McClain's name on our lips, our country just may be reckoning with our original sin of slavery after 4 centuries. So yes, hang on to hope. The last thing I want to leave you with is that you must figure out what is important to you, hold on dear to it, protect it, fight for it, and hold true to it. It was Shakespeare who said, this above all, to thine own self be true. Congressman John Lewis, who marched with Dr. King in the Civil Rights Movement, said, you must be prepared to believe in something. If you believe in something, you have to go for it. This is not easy. All kinds of forces, influences, and realities will try to knock you off that path. None of this is easy. If it were, it wouldn't be worth doing. But I have no doubt that you can. What you do with your superpowers is up to you. It all starts with asking yourselves, what do I believe in? For me, I'm choosing to believe in you. I'm daring to place my hope in all of you. After all, like Lizzo told you, you know you a star, you can touch the sky. I know that it's hard, but you have to try. Thank you for the honor of letting me speak to you today. I hope you are able to celebrate this moment and celebrate yourselves, and I congratulate you.
The class of 2020 has earned many accolades, and we would like to take a moment to honor those students who have received honors. All students who received a white cord for academic honors, a silver cord for high academic honors, or a gold cord for top 10, please stand. Congratulations. Please be seated. All students who received a cord for Business Academic and Career Pathway, DECA and/or FBLA, please stand. Congratulations. Please be seated. All of my students who received a cord for the Health Science Academic and Career Pathway and/or HOSA, please stand. Congratulations. Please be seated. All students who received a cord for the Art and Communication and Fine Arts Academic and Career Pathway, please stand. Congratulations. Please be seated. All students who received a blue and silver cord for the STEM, Academic and Career Pathway and certifications, please stand. Congratulations. Please be seated. All students who received a purple cord for National Honor Society, please stand. Congratulations. Please be seated. All students who received a braided royal blue and gold cord for Theatrical Arts, please stand. Congratulations. All students who received a pink cord for instrumental or vocal music, please stand. Congratulations. Please be seated. All those students who received academic scholarships, athletic scholarships, or grants for higher education, please stand and be recognized. Congratulations. Please be seated. Vista Peak students have earned $3.9 million in scholarships. All students who received college credits for higher education, please stand and be recognized. Congratulations, and please be seated. All those students who have chosen to serve in the United States military, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Please be seated. Mr. Seglem, ladies and gentlemen of the board, each senior here today has successfully completed the requirements for graduation as established by the Colorado Board of Education and the Aurora Public Schools. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration, it is now my honor and privilege to present the Vista Peak Preparatory Class of 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chief of Staff of Aurora Public Schools, Mr. Mark Seglem.
Well, hello, graduates. Wow, what a day. This is incredible. And I wasn't going to say anything, but Principal Macklin asked me if I'd say a few words. So I'll try and keep this under 2 hours. No, I'm just kidding with you. There are a few things I'd like you to remember, though. First, I get to speak and nobody else does. That's pretty cool. Second, look at this. We're sitting in social distancing. We have masks on. It is in a completely different world. And yet, you have done what you have done. Successfully completed your high school education. If you can do that, you can do anything. You can do anything. The second thing I would tell you is this. There are a lot of folks that will stand up at a commencement like this and talk about dreams. I don't talk about dreams. I don't believe in dreams. I believe in doing. And so if there is something out there that you want to do, that you want to be, go get it. Don't dream about it. Go do it. And the last thing I will tell you is this. 41st President of the United States, George Herbert Walker Bush, once said, "Any definition of a successful life must include service to others." I believe that with all my heart. And so as you leave here today, go serve. Whether it's your family, your community, your country, the world, whoever it is, go serve. And now let's get to the really important things. On behalf of Superintendent Munn, the Board of Education, and Aurora Public Schools, I accept the class of 2020. Congratulations, graduates.
Welcome, Faculty Heralds. At this time, I would like to welcome our Faculty Heralds, Ms. Elsa Moore, Mr. David Benedict, Ms. Viviana Martinez, and Ms. Amber Scott. We're up in the press box. Hello. The Faculty Heralds were selected by the senior students as they have made a significant impact on their experience at Vista Peak. To be selected as a Faculty Herald is one of the highest honors for staff members here at Vista Peak. I request that both our graduates and their guests please remember you are part of a distinguished celebration that includes a lot of people. Please, no noisemakers or intrusive interruptions that would prevent families from clearly hearing their graduates' names. So it didn't say you can't use them, just not while I'm talking. Please remain in your seat so everyone can see the graduate whose accomplishments we are celebrating today. Your cooperation in this will be greatly appreciated. Seniors, when your name is called, please stand and be recognized, and then be seated.
Melanie Axum. Amanda Richardson. Elisa Abeda. Miguel Aguilar. Princess Aji Ari. Mohammed Aljiab Medina. Faith Aladu. Sana Al-Juburi. Sydney Allen. Jocelyn Alvarez Escalante. Jasmine Antunes. Oscar Aranda Gomez. Michelle Arianes Flores. Daisy Ariga. Marvin Arietta. Christopher Bali Jai. Lorenzo Badaas. Antonio Barrios Alamio. Alicia Barron. Taylor Anthony Batillo. Elijah Betancourt.
Caleb Blackman. Kai Bokalbos. Brianna Bondurant. James Boozy. Emmanuel Barunda Lopez. Raina Branch. Raven Branch. Ryan Brown. Ethan Buckner. Luis Bustamante. Vivian Caballero. Alexis Cavillo Morales. Roman Calzada. Kimberly Carbajal. Luis Carbajal Ortega. Alexis Carballo Molinar. Aaliyah Carlisle. Irving Carrion. Yesenia Carrillo. Giselle Carrillo Tapia.
Kaylee Casados. Mariana Casas. Daniel Castro. Janae Carver. Debony Chacon Ruiz. Eric Chaparro Carlos. Oralia Chavez Felix. Haley Circle. Devin Cisneros. Kayla Clark. Lawson Clow. Jasmine Cole. Mackenzie Congleton. Caesar Contreras Frateria. Melissa Cook. Bruce Cooper. Emily Corral. Jocelyn Correa Alvarez. David Correa Salazar. Brian Crespo.
Jennifer Cruz Herrera. Gia Cummings. Sean Daniels. Jared de Hoyos Guevara. Isaac de León. Matthew Detlin. Anya Dean. Peter Dean. Olivia Dorman. Grace Doughty. Christian Drebon. Joalan Duran. Ryan Evie. Ryan Ediker. Rebecca Elias. Kendall Elliott. Lisbeth Enriquez Medrano. Jacob Evans. Kaya Evans. Gianmarco Pfeiffer.
Alondra Felix Hernandez. Lindsay Fernandez. Miguel Fernandez. Zalma Figueroa. Dennis Flippin. Emberly Forbes. Jazz Ford. Julian Foster. Day Foster Carter. Christopher Garcia. Itzel Garcia Lopez. Gabriela Garcia Madera. Isaac Gardberg. Alexandra Gardner. Landon Gartner. Brianna Janez. Megan Gibson. Ridge Godridge. Alexander Gonzalez. Isabella Gonzalez Arialo.
Isaiah Gray. Keyshawn Grigsby. Jesmere Guel Marentes. Abigail Guerrero. Hector Guerrero. Oscar Guerrero Ochoa. Brussel Gultam. Dayanara Gutierrez Andrade. Giovanni Guzman Luna. Eureka Hagos. Isaiah Harbinson. Joel Harvey. Kenzie Haverfield. Thomas Haverfield. Marin Head. Edgar Enriquez. Aaliyah Henry. Madeline Henson. Jenna Hermson. Dominic Hernandez.
Gavin Heineman. Keaton Heineman. Gunnar Hill. Katie Howard. Sierra Hughes. Anasia Hunt. Decoy Jackson. Kimora Jackson. Latrell Jackson Noblock. Alyssa Yaquez. Hayden James. Zoe Jameson. Kaylee Jewell. Christopher Johnson. Michaela Jones. Iresli Horado Portillo. Kadist Kasai. Fatima Kazi Garcia. Juma Khalik. Parker Kincaid.
Francesca Quisel. Nayara Koki. Magid Kowanda. Jacob Lavit. Alvin Lacave. Willie Lam. Howard Lamb. Kaylin Landstrom. Jamie Lee. Donovan Lemmerman. Ayana Lois. Tatiana Lovatos Madera. Andrea López. Christopher López Herrera. Jonathan Loya González. Angelina Luciano. Rubén Madera. Ashley Madera Ontiveros. Ricardo Magadán Lozano. Emma Mayer.
Zoe Major. Julie Maldonado. Sydney Marcello. Juan Marquez. Aiden Martin. Abigail Leah Martinez. Alina Martinez. Marlene Martinez. Angel Martinez Corrales. Jairo Martinez Garcia. Lucera Martinez Torres. Kara Mathau. Jaden McKay. Edith Medina Rodriguez. Caleb Merriweather. Nolan Merriweather. Cheyenne Myers. C. Nicole Miller. Muha Muhammad. Kayla Manarez.
Sydney Moody. Amari Moore. Olivia Mora Ortiz. Stephanie Morales Loya. Ashlyn Mormino. Lainey Morris. Alize Mota. Gabrielle Moten. Ayana Monuro. Austin Murphy. Ruben Nakai. Esmeralda Nava Correa. Perla Navarrete Jimenez. Priscilla Navarrete Jimenez. Brenda O'Reilly. Allison Oliveira. Josephine Oliveira. Andrea Olivo Rivas. Jeremy Orizaba. Jair Orozco.
Juliana Orozco Jimenez. Shayo Olabi. Jalen Page. Alexis Pack. Erica Palomino Rivera. Audrey Pardid. Jesse Paris. Cyan Parker. Abby Partita. Mia Payne. Solomon Phillips. Joseph Porter. Daniel Preciado. Monier Pryor Buells. Miracle Pryor Buells. Kevin Quirino de Leon. Athena Reagan. Ariana Ramirez. Alejandro Ramos. Tomas Ramos.
Xavier Rush. Lindsay Reed. Isaac Renas. Houston Rendell. Jawan Richard. Anaeli Ríos Rubio. Yailin Rivera. Deneya Roberts. D'Angelo Robinson. Alejandro Robles Barraza. Ariana Rodríguez. Rubén Rodríguez. Jacqueline Rodríguez Valderrama. Alfredo Rodríguez Ruelas. Ángel Rojas Flores. Kaylin Rooney. Jade Rubio Velázquez. Bianca St. Julian. Stephanie Sánchez.
Sandra Sandoval. Seth Santana. Caitlin Schroeder. Kylie Severin. Shujan Sharafaldeen. Noah Sigler. Edwin Silva. Carter Scow. Liam Skousen. Jean Sledge. Tamar Smith. Daniel Soto Sanchez. Alexis Soto Vargas. Cole Sparks. Jocelyn Stallman. Jordan Stewart. Trinity Taiwo. Madison Tanner. Ambrosia Taylor. Thomas Thatch.
Tion Thomas. Joseph Thompson. Kiana Thompson. Isaac Tovar. Tammy Trujillo. Davis Trong. Grace Tuzazilla. Jeremy Upton. Ashley Uribe Trio. David Valenzuela. Fatima Valerio. Amy Valerio Contreras. Melanie Vargas. Jareli Vela. David Velasquez. Nina Vo. V. Vo. Jalen Walker. Hayden Washam. Karsten Wells.
Aiden Whitcraft. Zachary Whitworth. Morgan Wilson. Nicole Wilson. Maymuna Yakubu. Madeline Yarbrough. Diego Zamudio del Rio. Haley Zant. Jose Zuniga Cruz.
Class of 2020, you are almost officially alumni of Vista Peak Preparatory. What's another few months, right? Please turn back to the video screen, and for the final time, please welcome your principal, Mr. Jason Macklin.
Students, parents, guardians, esteemed guests, and members of the Vista Peak community. I am grateful to be here today to acknowledge my second graduating class as principal of Vista Peak Preparatory. Before I address the graduating class, I must acknowledge all of the people who have contributed to making this possible for our students today. Whether you are in attendance or observing remotely, we thank you for your commitment to supporting our students. Parents, guardians, family members, and friends, thank you. Thank you for providing the foundation that made what your student is being recognized for today possible. Thank you for the commitment you made to do whatever was possible to support the success of your student and the Vista Peak community overall. Thank you for being available for parent-teacher conferences, school events, or even just to listen to my weekly phone dialers in order to remain as engaged as you were able to be. Students, many of our staff members could not be in attendance today. Nonetheless, we thank the dedicated staff members of Vista Peak for their service, their sacrifice, their commitment to excellence, and making sure that every Vista Peak student is prepared to successfully navigate the world that awaits them beyond the Vista Peak campus. I am honored to share that our staff members are tremendously proud of you and wish you the best of luck on your journey. If you are a first-generation high school graduate today, congratulations. If you are a legacy graduate, meaning that you have had an older sibling or family member who also previously graduated from Vista Peak, congratulations. We hope that our first-generation graduates set the stage for future generations, and our legacy families continue to trust us to educate your children as well. That is the way that strong communities like Vista Peak are built, and we thank our families for entrusting us with the care of your students. Bison graduates, what a year we have experienced together. I know this has been a difficult one for many of us. Many of you as students and many of us as educators have experienced frustration, disappointment, or even downright anger as a result of the time we have lost due to the impact that COVID-19 had on our ability to finish the school year in person. On the other hand, many of us have experienced growth and reflection during this process. I still recall senior students earlier in the year who expressed to me, I am ready to be done with school, Mr. Macklin, or I am over high school, Mr. Macklin. Unfortunately, our time away from school, away from teachers, away from friends, helped some of us realize what we missed and perhaps sometimes took for granted: community. School is not just about what we learn from books. Our school experience is about how we interact with and connect with one another as people and as human beings. I hope you are able to reflect on this and have learned how to not take for granted the precious moments you have with people who are a part of our community. We are one Bison community, and I will truly miss each and every one of you. However, here are a few things I did not miss while we were away from school this year. Number 1, Snapchat. Number 2, student conflict on Snapchat. Number 3, student relationship drama on Snapchat. Number 4, inappropriate student pictures on Snapchat. I would have added Facebook to this list, but as members of Vista Peak Student Council so candidly stated to me earlier in the year, Mr. Macklin, only old people use Facebook. After some time had passed and students were able to return for checkout, I had some conversations with students. When asked how they were holding up during checkout, one student said to me, "It's fine, Mr. Macklin, life goes on." That response provided me with perspective, and I encourage you all to move on from this year in a similar fashion and with your head held high. Use the lessons learned from this as proof that you never know what is around the corner, and thus it is important to make the most of every day. As Maya Angelou so eloquently put it, you may not control all of the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. So Bison, as you move on and pass the torch to those who follow behind you, I leave you with this important message: make no excuses. Make no excuse for habits you lack that you know and have always known will be essential to your future success. A strong work ethic, punctuality, persistence, integrity, grit, self-advocacy, and self-reflection, for example. Habits such as these can and should be learned and developed. You know what you have to do and what you have to sacrifice to get it done. Make no excuse for choosing to love and care for yourself before others. That is not to say that you should not care deeply for others. It is just that if you neglect and mistreat yourself, you give others permission to treat you the same way. Make no excuse for setting the bar very high for yourself and for others who desire to be a part of your life. No truer words could have been stated than when Ziad Abdul-Noor said, "Never apologize for having high standards. People who really want to be in your life will rise up to meet them." Make no excuse for having fear. Fear is a natural human emotion. That said, fear is not an excuse for failure. If you want something, go get it. It may be scary, but if you want something you have never had, you have to do something you have never before done. As Will Smith once said, fear is not real. It is a product of thoughts you create. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. Make no excuse for how you show up in the next phase of your life. You are ready. You have been ready. Take your place in the world and own it. Your time is now. Like any book, your life is a story that is being written each day that you live. The big question for you is, how do you want your story to read? Bison students, you are all a part of a graduating class filled with people who will do amazing things in life. As you continue to write your book, know that every chapter will not be perfect. In some chapters, there will be victories. In other chapters, there will be defeats. Some chapters will contain love stories. Other chapters will talk about heartbreak. Some chapters will be better or worse than others. Nonetheless, it will be part of the story of your life. So as you venture on into the next part of your lives and en route to starting the next chapter of your story, I look forward to following you and learning about your success and growth. As you continue to write each new chapter of your life's book, I ask just one more thing of you, Bison. Make sure your book is a page turner. Vista Peak Bison, class of 2020, we love you. We will miss you. Congratulations.
Graduates, please stand. Got one more set of instructions for you. Graduates, please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, class of 2020. Graduates, you will now proceed back out the way you came in and return your gowns. Guests, please remember no gathering is allowed and meet your graduates back at your vehicles. Be safe, everyone. Congratulations.